Morning traders, it's Trades here. Let's see what we have in store for the day today. So going into the day, we've got no news except for at 3 p.m. UK time. So this is around 10 at US time. So although I'm saying there's a red folder news, I still don't want to give it as much importance as I have been giving them, because I wait around for these news to come out, and ultimately it just throws me off quite a bit during the day. Like yesterday, I was waiting for the PMI news to come out. I was quite clear on my direction of the trade that I wanted price to go to, but because of the news coming out, I waited. Price started to move in a different direction. I kind of changed my bias during the day on the lower time frames, which led me to take a FOMO trade. And yeah, I was giving it too much importance. It didn't even move the market too much. So let's review yesterday and let's see what we have in store for today. So last month we closed bullish after taking long term, taking these lows out. Prices displaced bullish, and however it has come into a discount, right? We've come into discount, and we held this fair value gap initially, and then since then we have been tapping into that fair value gap multiple times. We pushed down, took out these lows, held this, there's no fair value gap, pushed up, closed above these highs, these fair value gaps, this order block. We maintained maybe the 50% of that order block. It's just been pushing up. We came up and took our liquidity up this high last month. So going into this month, I do anticipate bullish sentiment. However, because we took out this high as well, I honestly don't know long term. But the way the candlesticks have approached that level, I have been predicting, I had been predicting this buy side liquidity to be taken out for a really long time. But that is long term, so let's wait and see. Maybe we'll get a NFP week this week, so anything can happen. We've got this bullish fair value gap that price can come down to this week. I'm not saying it will just hold that level. Maybe it will run deep and then push up and then find support and then push up to that buy side liquidity. I'm not sure. There's more confluences on the lower time frame. So we have this fair value gap right here that price came and tapped into yesterday, found support. Let's look how to do this. So this week so far we put in a bullish candle on Monday, and then this bearish engulfing candle on Tuesday. However, this also took out lows of the previous days. Came into daily time for fair value gap. If you watch my pre-market analysis yesterday, you'll know that I was waiting for this fair value gap to get tapped into and look for short-term trading opportunities. So my prediction is still the same. I still expect price to come into this fair value gap, find some kind of support, and look for a short-term long opportunity, especially if it comes today or tomorrow due to NFP. I want to wait till what happens post NFP. If we're bullish on the week or bullish going into the month, then maybe we'll come out, clear more of these fair value gaps, this low right here, and then find strong support that will push price higher. But until then, right now I'm just taking short-term trades. On the 240, we did come into, like I said, the low of this fair value gap yesterday and found support. However, I still anticipate price to come down to the lower level right above that order block. So there you go. Price found a very nice support, or has found some support at the low of that fair value gap, below this swing low yesterday, especially the fact that we failed to close below the low looking left, and since then we've started to displace bullish with this bullish fair value gaps, and this is on the 240 time frame as well. So that's some strong sentiment from the market. Also going into yesterday, I was kind of predicting that price may either come down, find support, or if it comes up, that it might come up to this daily time for fair value gap and then find some resistance, because that is also below this breaker block. However, price did not even take out Monday's highs before finding resistance, so maybe we'll get that today or tomorrow. But ideally, this is another location that I'll be looking to go short this resistance level above these highs on the 240 at the daily time for fair value gap, especially if it taps into that 50%. Then I will be aggressive. I will aggressively sell. 1 hour, it does look like we are quite bullish, right? It does look like we are heading for at least these highs, or even these highs for liquidity. If I do see a run down into fair value gap along these ways, so like we've got Asian lows here, we've got fair value gaps around here during the London session, then I might look for long opportunities. But other than that, I don't really have any prediction. And maybe if price comes to this high as well, I look for a short-term shorting opportunities. If price comes out and takes out these highs, but ideally I want to see these highs being taken. Pound dollar, same story. We are in a bullish order flow. However, we came into a discount and held a bearish fair value gap that price had previously rejected. Or, sorry, price rejected the one below that previously, and it held this one last month. We might even see a tap back into that 50% level to find some kind of a resistance. But looking at the order flow, and these candlesticks, you can see, every time you get a green candle, it's followed with a bullish candle, a strong bullish candle. But at the same time, that is a monthly time for fair value gap. We've seen a pattern like this before: a bullish run up, close above the highs, opens inside the candle, and closes inside the candle, and then we get a run down. We're going to get a run down again? I'm not too sure. That's why I will just be looking for short-term opportunities right now. Like I was saying yesterday, maybe we'll come down to the 50% off this fair value gap before we push higher up, or before it finds some kind of a support. Or ideally, I would like to see the low of this fair value gap taken and tapped into this fair value gap, ideally. So let's keep that 50% in mind. Yep, order flow has started to be bearish, right? We've got this breaker block that's been broken. We've closed below this fair value gap, tapped into that 50% on Monday, and then displaced yesterday with a bearish engulfing candle. Yesterday, I was predicting price to come down to these equal lows right here, right above that fair value gap on the 240. Because of that, I will go deep into this. We have been displacing down since we rejected this high. Right, making lower lows, lower highs, taking out these lows, taking out lows every time we make a new low. We came up, held this bearish fair value gap. Look at it, none of that closes above this fair value gap right there. And on the 1 hour time frame, what do we get? We get a nice displacement right here with this bearish fair value gaps. My prediction yesterday was, going into the day, I wanted to take a trade on the pullback at 618, and I wanted to aim for these lows. However, because price came down, took out that low during London session, London open right there, pushed up, came down, and then New York session price pushed up again. And because we had already taken this low, news was coming out, I expected price, for some reason, as it was dropping down to these Asian lows, or these lows, I expected price to find support and continue higher. So I took a trade as the news came out right at New York open, but then I got out around these lows at half percent. So yeah, after price took out this low, I was taken back. I didn't want to enter this trade, which is fair because we just took out, a swing low. However, price came in, held this fair value gap during London session, even was an entry if you were to look for an entry during that London session on the 5-minute time frame, right here above that order block, which I missed. Targets 1 could have been taken out these fair value gaps, and then the second hit break even. So personally for me, if that swing low, especially when but I'm aiming for the drawn liquidity for down here, and the fact that this drawn liquidity also hadn't been hit. Had it been hit? I think it had been hit. Nope, it had not been hit. Right, even this swing low had not been hit. And then price comes up, holds the fair value gap, and comes up and holds that high again. Then, it's not too much to ask for price to find some kind of or too much of asking myself to look for an entry at these swing highs. And then price drops again, another fair value gap, which we have closed above, but I believe we've got, this momentum is strong. I would expect price to come down to these lows still. I'm just not sure how it will come down there. Maybe we'll come back up, take out these highs, and then come down. I'm not really sure. We also came into this 240 fair value gap, right? The lowest one above the swing, which is something to always consider, because that's where price found its previous or most recent support, or you can also say found support at this order block. And since then we have started to displace up. Right now, I don't really have much going on. We've accumulated, maybe we're manipulating. We've got fair value gaps, we've got order blocks. Ideally, if we were to trade, then I want to see price come into this fair value gap and then provide some entry, or yesterday's highs. We are quite close to that equal low liquidity level, and we also have come down with this bearish engulfing candle, so maybe we will just see a retracement and price will come down to those equal lows and find some support. I will be watching for that level. I will be watching to look for a trade and see how price reacts from London Open during London session at these levels. Cool.